Hello, I'm Cameron with Gale Force 9 Games, and today we're going to go over how to play Wise Guys, a game of money, guns, and booze set in Prohibition-era Chicago. We all got places to be, people to see, and rum to run, so let's get to it. The most important thing you need to remember in Wise Guys is that it's all about the money. Not the booze or the guns, it just means to an end. If you want to be the biggest, baddest, and ultimately winning gang of Wise Guys, you are going to need to have the most cash at the end of the 6 rounds of the game. So just keep that in mind as you move on to setting up the game. And don't worry, Wise Guys is super easy to set up, with a convenient diagram on page 2 of the rulebook. The main things to remember are that the Roaring Twenties tile sits in the middle. The 5 starting locations don't ever change and are helpfully labelled so on the back, and then you place 6 other locations down randomly. They'll get revealed as the game goes on. And finally, place a selection of 15 Roaring Twenties cards next to the tile. These cards mix up the game with hassles, opportunities, and round-defining events, as well as acting as a timer for the game. Once cards are out, the game's over. Each of these 4 Chicago gangs are different, with varying strengths and weaknesses, and to select them, each player rolls a dice. The winner gets first choice, and then it continues to their left. To make up for going last, the final player starts with the powerful Boss of Bosses token. That means they go first and determines who wins ties in any fight. Now, sort out your starting money, guns, and booze, depending what your clubhouse says. And remember to keep these hidden, safely stashed away behind your asset blinds. Set your clout to the starting level, and then place your chosen gang members on the clubhouse card, and any unused made men and associates in the recruit pool next to your card. Your gang is made up of associates, the rank and file who you recruit to do the dirty work, and maybe one day promote to the rank of made man. These made men have bigger tokens and better stats, and are much more valuable to your gang, as well as being the only ones who can initiate fights. Every made man is different, with some, like Al Capone, better at talking things out, while others, like Dino Bannon, prefer to let their fists do the talking. Now that your gangs are set up and ready to roll, it's time to hit the streets of Chicago and start the first round. There are 7 steps in each round. First, collect the order tokens for your gang. Each gang gets a different number based on the number of made men that they have and the base number of order tokens listed on their clubhouse tile. Second, the Boss of Bosses reveals 2 brand new locations, while there are still locations to reveal. Third, reveal the Roaring Twenties cards for the round. On the first round, reveal just 1 card. On the second round, 2. And then 3 for every subsequent round. The 4th step is the longest and the most important. This is where you get to issue orders. Starting with the Boss of Bosses and continuing left, 1 order token at a time, until all players are out of tokens. There are 7 different types of orders you can issue on a turn, discarding an order token for each one. You can drive any number of gang members from one location to another. Remember, Opportunity Roaring Twenties cards count as temporary locations. Then, you can exploit a location if you're the only player with gang members there. Each location can be exploited once a round, provides all kind of benefits, from special trades to more assets to even sabotaging other gangs. Some locations even let you boost, allowing you to spend an additional order token for even more goodies. If other gangs are crowding your turf, you can fight for a location, but only if you have a made man present. The type of fight depends on the location. It ain't classy to bring guns to City Hall, so this is a talking location. But no one's going to bat an eyelid if you start slugging at the downtown docks. First, the player to the left of the person who initiated the fight gets to call for backup, spending 1 order token per location they wish to call for backup from, and moving their gang members to the fight. Once all players have decided whether or not to call for reinforcements, it's time to pull guns, but only if it's a slugging location. Each player reveals simultaneously the number of guns from their personal assets that they wish to use. Guns add 3 to the fighting strength, but will make you lose clout for pulling them. You can't use more guns than you have gang members in a fight, and you don't have to use guns if you don't want to. Now it comes to resolving the fight. Each player in the fight rolls a dice, and adds that number to the slugging or talking score of their made men, depending on the location, and then 1 point for each associate. In a fight with guns, add points for every gun pulled, and then total it up to determine the winner. Remember, if it's a tie, the boss of bosses determines the winner. Losers return all gang members to the clubhouse, while the winner now controls the location and can immediately spend an order token to exploit the location, if they were the ones that started the fight. They also claim the boss of bosses token if they defeated the current holder. That would be all for a talking location, but if it's a slugging, it's time to count the cost. Every gun used in the fight injures a rival gang member. Assign your gun totals to rival gangs of your choice. These players must move gang members to the emergency room for every gun token they receive. Then discard all the guns, and any player who pulled them loses 1 clout. The remaining orders you can issue are recruiting an associate from the recruit pool, which is as straightforward as it sounds. Spend an order, get an associate. If you have enough associates, you can instead initiate a made man by spending an order token, 1 cash token, and 1 gun token, which allows you to swap out an associate for a made man of your choice. Each clubhouse also has a special gang order you can use as many times as you want in a round, spending an order token each time. Finally, you can sit tight, spending an order token, but not taking any action. Before we get to the next step in the round, a brief note on clout. Clout allows you to sell more booze on the black market, and also helps keep your gang out of trouble. If you ever run out of clout, you must choose one of your made men to take the fall. Return your made man to the recruit pool, and reset your clout to 1. If you don't have any made men left, then there ain't anyone left to blame. Your crime days are done, and you are out of the game. Once all players have used their available order tokens, it's on to step 5, the black market. Players secretly bid the amount of booze they wish to sell. A gang can only sell as much booze as they have clout, unless they have 4 clout, in which case they can sell as much as they like. The price is determined by the total amount for sale, which is shown on the relevant reference card. This is one of the best ways to make money in the game, but be careful. Anytime you sell on the black market, you lose 1 clout. The 6th step is resolving any and all last call Roaring Twenties cards, like the indictment card, which means that the gang with the least clout is forced to have someone take the fall. Finally, reset the board by taking back all order tokens, discarding the current Roaring Twenties cards, and checking on all gang members in the ER. Roll a dice to see if they rejoin your clubhouse, or if this is the end of their criminal careers. Once you've played all 6 rounds and discarded the final Roaring Twenties cards, that's it. The game is over, and you can count the cash to determine the winner and the ultimate boss of Chicago. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and click the bell icon to get notified when we publish a new video. Thank you all for watching. Now, if If you excuse me, I gotta go iron my shoelaces.